Welcome everybody to Moderators PD 2020. It's really, really good to have moderators, new moderators, and new faces. Because I didn't know some of you. I don't know Michelle, and I bet all of us have different levels of acquaintance with the members. So it's great to always see new faces, new sessions, new people, and there are new sessions for this year. So that's really exciting. Okay, so let me see. Okay, sorry. So for 2020, we have representation from many countries, and that's fabulous as always. And so we have, as you can see on the pictures, we have our former lead coordinators, Dr. Nelly Deutsch and Mubarak Akadar. We have the lead coordinating team that are myself as the head lead coordinator, meaning that this year this role is over. Then our lead coordinator, Marta Ramirez, who is also here in the session, and incoming lead coordinator, Natasha, who I think will be coming a little later, okay? And we have people from Brazil, from the United States. Sorry that I don't know the countries of everybody, but we have representation from all over the globe. So that's very nice for, as always has been with EVO. Okay, so this year's sessions, you might recognize some of the logos. Is it okay? I heard something. Okay, because I'm not seeing. Okay, because I'm not seeing anybody. So okay, so we have Escape the Classroom once again. We have collaboration tools. That is a new session. We have Flip Learning, Teach Online, which is they are coming back. ICT for ELT 2020 coming back. EVO CFR versus Assessment coming back. EVO Minecraft MOOC coming back and powered up. Moodle for Teachers. We have some of the logos that have always been there, like Teaching EFL for Young Learners, but we also have some new sessions like Mentoring Teacher Research, Immersive Language, I'm sorry, I lost the name right now, but I'll show you the list right now. So here it is. Okay, so we have 18 sessions this year. Last year didn't offer this year, but then we have some new ones. And so we're going to meet the sessions under moderators now. Okay, so we have Basic Linguistics for English Language Teachers. This is their second year, and it's led by Dr. Carmen Medina. Then we have Lana Hayasat and Roslyn Billy. They offered the session last year, and it was a great success. So we're glad to see them coming back this year. They still have the logo for last year. This is going to be worked during the moderators' PD sessions. And then we have CFR versus Assessment coming back once again. We have Classroom-Based Research for Professional Development, which we used to have a session with the same name. So I'm a bit confused about it because we had a session with the exact same name, but it was one of Richard Smith's sessions. Now we have Lydia Casalini, Mariana Serra, and Ruben Mazeo. So I don't know if they are part of the same team that used to offer the session. And I would ask you, Nelly, or
yes,
Vance,
I was just going to say, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that, yes, Richard is, and he has been adding, from what I saw, Richard Smith, he's been adding content, and he's been quite active on the wiki. So yeah, he's still around. I don't know why his name, he wasn't listed.
Okay, it's probably because he's offering the new session, mentoring teacher research. So probably he's going to focus on mentoring that one, and then he's going to support the team moderating this one.
Possibly.
That's my theory. Which anyway is great, because this session on professional development is always a great success. Do you see a black screen?
Yes, it's black.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. This is loading again. Okay, there we go. All right, so then we have Escape the Room. I think this is the second year. We have Graham, Michelle, Madalena Scorpus, and Mayim Sermon. Since we have 2 members of this team, can you tell us about your proposal for this year?
We have 3 actually, because Michelle and Miriam and myself.
Oh yes, Michelle too. Yes, 3 people.
Most of our moderators. What do you want to know about it? I think the idea is very briefly to extend what we started last year. So the idea is we will go into more detail and depth. We're going to have 3 different strands to it. So we're going to have Escape the Room boardrooms, Escape the Room, turning your classroom into a live escape room, and then digital escape rooms. So last year we covered those to a small extent, but this time we're actually going, after the first week, we're going to split into 3 threads or 3 strands, so people can go into more depth on the one that they're most interested in, or do all 3 if they have lots of time.
Okay. Wow, that's scary what Nelly says, but good. I'm sure it's really exciting for a lot of people. You had a great session last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I think we felt that it would be good to repeat. Really, there were over 120 people, I think, if I remember rightly, joining us. Although active, we only had about 12, but that's normal, I think. And actually Miriam, Madalena and Michelle were all participants last year, and when I asked for volunteer moderators, they readily stepped up and said they would love to be part of it, which is great.
Okay. Yeah, you want to say, Miriam and Michelle, why you joining the team?
Yeah, so like last year I joined and I really liked, and this year I wanted to join and explore more and have my contribution into it.
Great, making career in EVO.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have my camera on, but I've moderated EVO sessions in the past. I used to do digital storytelling and also the ebook one. It's been a few years, and as I joined this one last year as a participant and I got quite into it, I thought, oh, I'd like to join as a moderator again this year. So that's
great. Well, as always, hope for a great experience for you as a moderator, and thank you for joining us today. This is really something, and well, thank you for joining us in the moderators PD sessions. Okay, so we're moving to getting online as a teacherpreneur. Nelly, do you want to say a little bit about this session? How many years has it been going for?
This is the 2nd year with the session. Harshita is amazing. She's involved in, I guess, professionally in online teaching, and specifically, she's also a computer developer, program developer. So it's really a pleasure to to learn from someone such as Harshita with all her experience in teaching online. She's also a coordinator, an assistant coordinator this year, which is exciting because she's adding something else. She's not specifically an EFL teacher, even though I think she has taught, but she mostly teaches computer programs and programming in general. Last year was quite a success. Teachers were very, very interested in the session and learning to teach using various programs such as blogs and wikis. This year it's going to include other things and not programming. Last year she tried to teach programming, which I think is important too, especially for teachers, but specifically learners, young learners are interested in programming these days. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite exciting. A lot of teachers are interested in teaching online so they can reach a larger audience as opposed to teaching in a face-to-face in a school. So I think this is actually for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it opens a lot of doors. Actually, a lot of teachers want to make the move, maybe full-time or even part-time. So it's amazing. Thank you for what you offer to teachers. It's great. Okay, so let's move on to ICT for ELT. The registered moderators for this year are only Ayat Tawal, Svetlana, and Marjana. I was surprised not to see Jose Antonio on the chart. So, but we don't have anybody here from this session to let us know about it. So, do you know anything, Vance or Nelly?
Well, I presume it's about the same. It's learning to use ICT tools in the English language classroom. Ayat, I think, has been moderator for a number of years. I think Mariana as well. Ayat is a coordinator. Marianne was a coordinator. They've both been moderating EVO sessions for a number of years. Svetlana, I don't know her, so I'm not sure about her background. I know that it's a great course that everyone, I think that if you come to EVO, that's probably one of the sessions, EVO sessions that, stands out and you should take. If I ask, have you taken it? I'm sure most ex-moderators and EVO coordinators have taken advance. Have you?
Well, that course or the session that session has one of the derivations, or I should say iterations, of Webheads in Action, which was in 2002, and we only ran that for 2 years, I think, and then some people who had taken that session started something called Becoming a Webhead, and that went for 10 years. And when they stopped doing that, then the ICT for ELT team took over, and sometimes they would ask me to come and talk to their group, but that was my impression anyway. I haven't followed closely what they're doing, but I think that's what their course is kind of about. It sort of takes the same computer-mediated communication approach and also networking, communities of practice, that kind of thing, sort of introducing people to tools that encourage that. But I can't really say for sure because I haven't really, I don't think we vetted that one very closely since it was something we were going to definitely accept. So therefore I didn't really read the syllabus for this year.
Harshita's here. Maybe she'd like to say something about her session this year.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry I cannot put my video on right now because of some network issue. But to talk about the session, Getting Online as a Teacherpreneur, it's basically about setting up your own platform on your, basically a website on WordPress.com, and adding content and how to get accustomed with the entire setup, how to use technology effectively to teach online. Also, I have introduced certain topics about programming fundamentals. So when you get online, when you are using technology, I believe you really need to understand programming to some extent so that you know what is happening in the background, how things work, and what is programming all about. And also, I feel programming is important for everyone to learn, when we talk about enhancing analytical and critical thinking skills for children, it's also important for teachers. So there is an aspect of that as well. And yeah, that's about this session. So I hope everybody enjoys it.
Thank you very much, Harshita. It sounds
I'm
very
curious,
interesting.
Could I ask one question? And the question is, what aspect of programming, or what language, or what particularly are you? Is it concepts of programming, or is it programming language, or how do you what are you focusing on? And
where we take it is from starting with HTML and CSS and JavaScript, because these are related to internet-based programming. When we are developing a website, we are working with the website, dynamically handling user interaction on the website. So these are the aspects that are covered up. And while we get on to
network issues? That answered my question. So thank you very much. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to know.
It's going to be on the Moodle then, so you might want to drop by. On Moodle for Teachers, that is. Sorry. On Moodle for Teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds really intriguing. Okay. Network issues?
No, everything's fine on this
okay,
end. We hear you.
Yeah, I was wondering. Okay. So then we have the flipped learning session, and even though it's 3 of the coordinators are part of the team, we have Juliana, we have myself and Marta. So Marta is going to tell us about the session.
Okay, hi everybody. So this session has been running, I think it's 4 years, Carolina?
Yes, it started in 2015. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, so it started in 2015, and basically what we do in this session is that we develop a number of tasks for teachers to learn how to flip their classrooms, and this includes lesson planning within a flipped learning framework, understanding the 4 pillars of flipped learning. We also work in-class flip, which is a variation of flipping in the classroom, and every year we add a little bit more to the sessions. So last year we did, one of the weeks had a stronger focus on growth mindset to connect to flipping, or to connect to innovation, and then, you know, flipping your classroom. We share different ideas using technology, or using tech tools for learning, and also ideas for active learning in the group space or in the classes. I think I've covered, that's about it, right, Carolina? Am I missing anything?
Yeah.
What tools, what specific tools do you use, or do you pass on to your participants?
Okay, so, well, every year we kind of depends on like tools we learn, but we've used Padlet, we've used Kahoot, I think quizzes we used. I don't remember if last year we used quizzes. Basically, we share like a list of tools, and each moderator and participants themselves, when they're presenting the lessons and the ideas that they have, they share tools. So using QR codes, for example, has been like a strong point in some of the participants. I can't think off the top of my head other.
I was thinking of maybe Flipgrid, or Screencast-O-Matic.
Flipgrid, yes, Screencast-O. Last year we created videos for participants. Each of the moderators created a video about how they planned, and we used Screencast-O, and that was also a way to show them, you know, to model how to use
maybe Edpuzzle. Have you tried that?
We shared Edpuzzle, Playposit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long list.
Yeah, and we have noticed, Nelly, something important that has happened in this session is that participants come more mature in flipped learning. So we have had to evolve with the session, because at the beginning it had a strong like emphasis on how to make the flipped videos, for example, like at the beginning, 2015 and 16. But then we noticed 2017 and more that participants are coming with that skill already mastered, and they want to go beyond, they want to take it further. So we have had to focus more on the group learning space than the pre-session, you know, like the individual learning space and the video creation, because they already know how to do this, because flipped learning is growing like foam. So people know more about how to do this thing. So they just want to know, like, to share experiences with I'm going to say that again, experienced flippers, to see how things work. So we have focused more on the lesson planning, which has been a great success the past years.
That's good. I mean, that's a good idea, I think, on lesson planning for other sessions as well. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Nelly. And something I'd like to add is that every year we have participants who come back. So there's some that have, I don't know, maybe they saw the session with us in 2016 and then they came back in 2018, or we do have some that come back every year. Not a lot, but you know, that they tell us, okay, we know you you update these sessions, we want to see what's going on this year. So that's really nice and rewarding for us to see that they, you know, that they see new things in each year in our session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so not more space to that one. Now we have immersive language teaching and learning in virtual world. Do we have any moderators from this session here? Or anybody who knows about what they are going to do? This is a first timer.
Well, if it's anything like the SL or virtual world MOOCs that I've been organizing for the past 7 years, then it should be really exciting, because I've seen Shellwin. I've seen most of these people. I've seen sessions by Shellwin, Kip as well. So they're probably going to take us into virtual worlds, I presume, and do the sessions from there. So it should be quite exciting.
Yeah, and they have Heike, who's the expert on this world. So I guess it's going to be really interesting too. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is we should all drop by and see what's up during the moderators PD to live a little bit if we don't have time to do the session in January and February. Okay. So Nelly, your Moodle for Teachers session.
Yeah. Harshita's here. Harshita has been co-moderating, I guess, for a few years now. I don't know, time seems to fly, but Harshita, you can probably tell me the exact number of years. But Moodle for Teachers has been going on, the session has been going on for, I guess, since 2012. So that's 7 years. And it does evolve, which is interesting, and I guess it should evolve. The idea behind Moodle for Teachers, not only do you learn how to teach online using Moodle, but you also learn how to teach using other technologies, including Padlet, of course, and different tools for sharing. What it's about is creating your own courses, but collaboratively. So participants create courses as a team. So teaming up is a big part of this session, and working together, which is really exciting, getting badges. And it's quite, I would say, quite challenging. The Moodlers, after week 2, tend to stay on for longer than they really want to sometimes, because it's so exciting for them. Because of the badges, at least that's what they say. Natasha took it 1 year and she said she couldn't stay away. and it kept her. Yeah, she kept. She couldn't. She couldn't go to sleep literally because she had to finish the task. Not that it's time based or anything, but she wanted the badges for the. So it's. I think that it's quite an exciting course session. We've got GAMS. This year she's a PhD student and she's very interested. She's taken a few sessions in the past with me in different areas, and she's interested in moderate. I think we have another moderator, but I'm not sure if we only have GAMS or if someone else also joined. I think it's going to be quite exciting this year. It always is, but I think this year it's going to be very special. Harshita,
Great.
do you want to add anything since you've taken it yourself?
I think she may have gotten disconnected.
Yeah, I was just thinking, she had problems,
Yeah.
technical issues,
Yeah. Anyway, it's always great to have these sessions that help teachers develop the digital mindset and digital competence, not only the management of the tools, like the technological expertise, but also the digital mindset to think and make decisions in a digital environment. I think that's great. So thank you for that session again.
And collaborating online, which is really tricky, but they do it. They do it so well. So working together, I think teaming up and learning to work in a team.
Great. That's going to be beneficial for a lot of teachers. That's great. Thank you, Nelly, for that course, that session, sorry. Okay, so we have the new session by Richard Smith, mentoring teacher research. So is he here? No. I don't see the list of members.
No.
No? Okay. Yeah. In the vetting process, it looked really interesting. It's one of those sessions that I want to take. It's about guiding students, like research students or graduate students, in their thesis processes and in the research endeavors, like creating the question and going over the literature and then deciding on the data collection instruments, then the analysis procedures. And so they proposed conversations about how to guide people in the research process. So they have their very successful session on classroom research for professional development. I think they're taking it a step forward with helping people mentor the teachers who are doing the research. So I think this is going to be really, really successful. Anybody wants to add anything about that session from the vetting process? No. Okay. Then we'll move on to EVO Minecraft MOOC 2020. So, Vance.
Okay. Minecraft MOOC started in 2015, and it's always been a lot of fun. We have a lot of people who come back year after year. Three of them are here, including myself. So there's Don Carroll, who goes by Abu Fletcher. That's an Arabic term. Fletcher is his first son, so Abu means father of Fletcher. So that's actually what Arabs call themselves, and Don and I knew each other in Oman for some time. He's in Japan now. But let's see, there's also Jane Xian, who's in Taiwan right now. And Jane and Don have been doing some interesting work on, well, I know I'm familiar with what Jane was doing because she just wrote an article for TESOL EJ on lexical analysis of some work she did, and she's been working with Don. They've been doing presentations together. So we're learning a little bit about how students are responding to Minecraft. But let me turn it over to them, and they can say more about what we're doing in this course, and so that I don't dominate this. Go ahead. Did I hear Don there for a second?
Don, would you like to?
Okay. Am I talking now?
Yes.
Okay. I've participated, I think this will be my third year. And initially it was about me learning how to play Minecraft and to see how the game goes and what sort of learning affordances it might offer. What I've suggested for this time is if we can get more students involved actually in participating, so we can see more in terms of what we might do with the newcomers who don't happen to be teachers themselves. So I'm going to see if I can get a couple of my Japanese university students to come on and kind of see, again, throw them into the mix. And these are people maybe who play video games but haven't played Minecraft before.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm gonna invite some of my son's friends because was it in May that Don and I went to Tokyo to Jolt Call to present. We presented like a video analysis of YouTube videos, lexical analysis, and also discourse analysis of Emmanuel and Maddie, my son's gameplay. And it was really interesting. And so this year we would like to invite more learners on board so that we could, learn more about the how virtual world affords language learning, like helps them learn the language. Yeah. And Rose is here as well.
Nature of the interaction. For me, it was really the nature of the interaction that was most interesting. It's the first time I had participated in that kind of virtual world, and to see how that was structured by the requirements of the system, that was all interesting. So I'm currently working on a paper to that effect for one of the conversation analytical journals.
Okay, and is Rose, have you got a mic? Oh, is this?
It's another Rose. It's Rosemary
yes.
from Bolivia, not Rose Bart.
Hi, Rose. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought
she's gonna come later on. She's in co-moderating with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Mariana is one of the other moderators. Is also on our team, and her son, when he was 10 years old, 11 years old, was playing Minecraft. And she did an article about his learning, sort of an anecdotal report, but very valuable. And so we have that a lot. We have parents playing with their kids. My granddaughter plays, and I don't know if she's actually come into the sessions yet, but my wife has joined us. So it's a family thing, and it's very enjoyable. We all really have become hooked on it, I think. So anyhow, and we were trying to hook other people, but not overtly. It's only if people want to join us.
I'm interested in adding Minecraft to my server. I still haven't. I need help with that, so maybe I'll come in. Maybe I'll find someone there who can help me with that, because I'd like to have a server for my students who are interested in using Minecraft.
Well, possibly we could help you do that.
Great. That's great.
I guess we're still kind of we're looking around for what will be our primary server when we're actually engaged. I think a lot of us are playing right now on a server that Dakota has set up, but our regular one that Aaron Schwartz normally runs is down at the moment.
Yes, he's promising to bring it back.
So if not, then maybe Dakota can help me set it up, and then I'll have it I'll have it there.
Yeah, we might need it, but we actually need something right now because we need to. Well, I mean, we don't necessarily need just one server. Last year we played on Dakotas and we played on Aaron's, and they have their different flavors of play, and we can learn from playing in different environments. So anyhow, but you know, it's a group of people who enjoys doing what they're doing, and we can deal, I think, with just about any place we are. So it just adds to the fun.
And that's the magic of EVO. People getting together to do what they love and sharing with others. Thank you.
Yeah, helping other people do those same things.
Yeah, and find their loves. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We have one more session from Dr. Carmen Medina. She was the one who did basic linguistics for English language teachers last year, and this year she's proposing this new session, mobile learning for teachers, with Deanna Johnston. So is Carmen around?
No, she's
no.
not.
Okay, so, I guess we just move to the next one. That is project-based learning versus task-based learning. This was one of those sessions that in the vetting, we're still, kind of knowing if it's going to go. We're still waiting for confirmation on the moderators because there is no logo and there is no list of moderators. We just have the person who has been working on the wiki. So we'll see what's up with this session as weeks progress in these PG sessions. And we have scaffolding in shadow ESP training with double diplomas with Halima Osimova. So I know, Nelly, you know Halima, so I don't know if Halima is around. Do you know if this is similar to the session she offered last year? Maybe
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's exactly the same. I think it's kind of slightly different. But she had experience last year. She's going to be using Moodle for Teachers. I set up the session for her. So, I'm going to be involved in the technical, at least in the background, with tech support. Whatever Halima does is full of energy. I haven't seen her around. I hope she's well. I see that Nelson's also back. Maybe you know more, Vance?
Well,
maybe she's away.
We've known Halima for a long time. She was at the beginning a little awkward in interacting with us, but that was years ago. And she just kept at it, and she kept learning more and more. And she was always asking us, well, why don't you have an EVO session for appropriate to people in Uzbekistan, where she's from. And I would always say, well, why don't you invent one? And this went on for a few years, and then finally, last year, she did. And, was kind of, obviously felt very challenged by it, but she got a lot of support from us. And, it worked well for her. And she's, I really like to see her succeed because she helps a lot of people in Uzbekistan, a lot of young teachers who need this kind of environment to work in. To hear Halima tell it, it's conservative. The approach is conservative, and it's also it's a clique that manages education there. So it's hard for the people with ideas to break in to what they're doing to develop those ideas. So the environment is not perfect for that, but Halima is certainly making inroads in getting a group of people together to try to reach out to other people around the world and learn from them. And so I really like what she does. I want to see it succeed.
Yeah, and you see that Nelson Bank is in the list. So she's been mentoring Nelson to become moderator, like a stronger moderator to offer his own session. And that started last year. So I think that's also great to mention about Halima's work. Okay, so we have TechnoClil. Do we have Leticia or Daniela here?
No, they're not here.
No, okay. So we're still missing the logo, but we'll see. This session is always a great success. People mostly from Italy join this session, but we have people from all over the world, and well, it's always very successful. Daniela and Leticia share a lot of resources for teachers doing CLEL through technology, and I think they do that in Moodle, right? They do it in the Moodle for teachers too, right, Nelly?
No, they haven't been doing it in Moodle for teachers for the past 2 years at least.
Oh.
No, they do it on a Moodle site. I think it's Daniela's high school. Yeah, it's Daniela's high school. It used to be Daniela's high school Moodle. And yes, it has been successful. They're good moderators, and they bring a lot of presenters from around the world who teach CLIL. I think Graham Stanley, I think you presented there a couple of years ago.
Yes, I did a guest presentation about minutes ago.
Yeah, okay, it's a great session. We just have to work out the certificate issue, but then it's all really, really good. Okay, we're getting close to an end of the number of sessions we have. Not so close yet, but okay. So, teaching EFL to your learners. Nelly, once again, you tell us a little bit about this session this year.
Yeah, we've been doing this session, I guess, for the past 6 years. This will be, I don't know, our 7th. And Judy's here. Judy joined, I think, 2 years ago. Judy, you can confirm or tell me if that's correct. Teaching EFL to young learners started as a ITEFL, Young Learners Initiative, when I was one of the I don't know what they called it then, coordinators or whatever they called it, one of the members of the ITEFL Young Learners, SIG. And that's why it started, but then participants liked it. They liked it. We get a lot of participants. Last year we had, I think, about 400, if not 500 participants, specifically from Vietnam. A lot of participants from Vietnam, right, Judy? Judy loved that part. She enjoyed our Vietnamese teachers. They drove her batty, but she liked it. I think, Judy, you can say more about it.
They were actually cool. They were cool.
Yeah, they kept her on her toes. They kept us quite busy online, and we have to take that into consideration when we have huge, number of participants, that it takes a team to respond and to make sure that they're happy and getting the most out of the session. So yeah, Nevis and Cheryl have been on the team for a long time, and Dina is Cheryl's daughter, which is a family affair, I guess. Nevis also brought her brother. I don't know if he's going to be participating this year, but Judy, you can bring your kids along too, I guess.
That would be interesting.
Yes, definitely. We can get some native speakers responding to the non-native speakers. So yeah, teaching EFL to young learners is exciting because we have different, each week is broken down into different aspects. The first week is just getting to know the environment, of course. Second week is, Judy, we started out as storytelling. Now it's called, Judy?
Gosh, I forgot what
we keep
called.
Changing it, right? To make it exciting, so you don't get bored.
Year, okay, we've done it where in the past we would, concentrating on storytelling and dramatic presentation, but this year it's going to be, because what I realized last year with all of the lovely Vietnamese kids, that it was really way more than we could get done in this short amount of time. So this year I've decided to concentrate more on talking about the science of reading and how reading aloud is really an important component to the science of reading programs and understanding of how we read and why we read. And so for our students.
And Nevis, sorry.
We will talk about a little bit about how we'll analyze a little bit about doing a read aloud well.
And Neva's does games, and Cheryl and her daughter do arts and craft in the EFL class. Remember, this is for young learners, so everything that involves young learners is what it's about. In Judy's case, I think it's also reading stories, getting teachers to feel confident and to learn how to do it as effectively as possible. Am I right? With their young learners.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, a lot of the teachers, it's sort of like this year is more grown out of what we've done in the previous years and the feedback I've gotten. And a lot of them they need more of an understanding as to why read aloud is important, and how they can actually incorporate it into the classroom and deal with classroom management rules and things like that. Because I think most teachers in general, their reaction was that they were finding it was terrifying to read aloud. So it's more, I think this year it's going to be more of getting that anxiety out of the teachers, and making them feel more comfortable to be able to do this.
Well, it sounds amazing. I may drop by just for my kids to learn those techniques for my children.
Well,
yeah.
I really wanted it to be geared toward, because the other thing is we got teachers who some taught, like I do, they didn't just teach young children, they taught older people too. And I wanted them to understand that it is not just for little kids, and it's not just for children, but it's for adults as well. So this new format this year for me will actually give me a little more time to be able to address those teachers who were asking me a lot of questions about, okay, but what do we do if they're older, or older children or teenagers or older? How do we deal with that? So we'll be discussing more than just picture books this year, which we've kept to in the past. We'll be discussing chapter books and other books that you can read aloud, and how we would do that.
That's great. That sounds
every
great.
Every week, actually, there's a different thing. So Cheryl is here. Cheryl can talk about her session, her part of the session. Cheryl?
Hi. Yes, we've changed it was low resources, which it still is, talking about how to use low resources in the TEFL for young children. But this year we kind of upgraded it a little bit, and because everybody's using that, so we're calling it upcycling, which is the same thing, taking something and turning it into something different or better. And the way we've approached this is, in the past, is the way we'll kind of continue on. How do we use common things, words that people need to know? We forget sometimes about how the most common words can throw somebody if they don't have that information or know what they're doing. And so by making these little videos or showing what they can do, teachers get a chance to look at this in the way that how can my students learn English and more effectively, and then something that they can actually relate to their own situations. Pick your own, like the ladies from Vietnam. My goodness, they were so creative. They had all kinds of things. They used plastic bottles to make like flowers and all kinds of cool stuff. And then when they did that, then they were like, oh my gosh, I can use this to teach English in a way that's something that they can relate. You see that plastic bottle, then you can start affecting relationship with your real life. So that's where we're going. And Dina is the one who does all the activities, and she makes up the videos and stuff for me, because I'm not particularly perfect at this, but I do the language part and talk with the build the research areas. They have research focus they have to read about and talk about. Yeah. So
sounds like a great session.
We think so.
It is a great
Thanks to
session. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. We have two more, I think, and this is another one with you ladies. So can you tell us about this new session you're offering this year?
Yeah, I came up with this idea because I've been involved in collaboration, teacher collaboration. And I thought that it's time that teachers allowed their students to also collaborate. I believe in team learning. I've been practicing team learning with my face-to-face students, young learners, but also other students, older student, university students, because I get a kick out of watching students do the work. You know, and now it's quite popular. When I started with student collaboration, it wasn't that popular, and parents would tell me, well, what about you? Why aren't you doing the work? Our kids, your students are not getting paid, and you are, so you should be doing the work and not the kids. So now things have changed. I'm talking about like 40 years ago. Things have changed, and it's more acceptable that students do the work and not the teachers. So the idea here is for teachers to find ways or to learn about ways that they can get their students to do the work. So it's going to be through VoiceThread, Google Drive Docs, and Padlet. For now, these are strong tools. I'm sure you're familiar with them, but they're the tools that I've been using for the past, I don't know, I guess 20 years or so, maybe less. And hopefully the session should go quite well. I don't see the screen sharing, so I don't know what happened.
Oh, my battery is running.
Sorry,
but so I'm going to go get it.
Okay, so we've got you backed up here. So we've got Rosemary. Notice that everybody's here actually, except for Gams, who's I mentioned her before, but Cheryl's here and Rosemary is here. So Rosemary, if you want to say something. Rosemary has been with EVO for a number of years. Maybe you can tell us more about your background, Rosemary, from Bolivia. Rosemary, does your mic work? Cheryl, I'm seeing the blocks. I don't know, Cheryl, do you see the blocks on the screen?
Yes, but I'm not hooked
I
up.
know, I'm just going to say that it's not you. That's exactly what I was going to say, that I think I understand. Yeah, I think I understand where it's coming from. I think when something happens to the connection, when the connection is not that strong, that's when it comes in, because
what about now?
I agree.
Yeah, so now we know, I think, where it's coming from. So Carolina is screen sharing. So yeah, Rosemary, can we hear you?
Good.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, everyone. I have actually used, sorry, 1 minute. I have used VoiceThread, Google Drive Docs, and my students were amazed by the fact that they could actually collaborate and write at the same time or continue sentences, and they really enjoyed it. In VoiceThread, I used it for a speaking class, so students can share ideas about controversial issues before coming to the actual speaking class. So it was a pre, and then there was a post with their summaries on VoiceThread. But Paddle, I thought it had disappeared, but I'm glad it didn't.
Oh no, it's really strong. Padlet used to be Wallwisher. Now it's amazing. There's so many uses for it. So yes, it's going strong.
Great. I actually love it. I have used it before with you.
Yes, I use Padlet for everything online, as well as in blended and my face-to-face classes. It's a great sharing tool, and if you are familiar with it, you'll know that you can share multimedia. In other words, you can share videos, you can share text, you can comment. I used it for newsletters. You can use it for various topics.
Yes, I have used it for brainstorming for argumentative essay writing. So students can share their ideas if they cannot come up with ideas. So others would actually share their brainstormings, and that way they collaborate.
Yeah, Cheryl, do you want to add anything? Because Cheryl, you've had experience with Google Drive docs. A lot of experience, I think, with Padlet and VoiceThread as well. Yes.
Yes. I was so glad. I thought they had done away with Wallwisher, and then when I found out it was Padlet, I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so the Google Drive docs, it never hurts for everybody to be able to go through that. And of course, VoiceThread is also excellent. But the nice thing about Google Drive docs, it's like we use to share information. And I will tell you that Nevis and I use it in a language class that we teach for Italian teachers. And it's really cool when she and I are working, and this is what we want to put across to other teachers. She and I can be on the same page, and because you can see each other's little avatar head, you know, I can be working on one part, she can work on the other part, and we can actually edit, look at, talk about, and decide if we want to do something together right then, or we can do it at another time when we're by ourselves, and then leave messages that have to be responded to. I mean, it's just so how can I say this, user-friendly, editor-friendly. It's just a real all-around great tool. I was so surprised that Google had put it together so well. So yes, I love it.
What's nice is I use it in the classroom with my young learners, and they use their phones. They're using their device, and the class is quiet, and they're all working together. Like they're communicating through chat, through text, because I want them to use English, to use, you know, to use their second language. And this is how they're able to communicate, and they're not talking. Like it's a great class management tool. That's what I call it, because they're communicating by text, but they're actually talking to each other, and nobody hears anything. It's quiet.
I know, that is awesome.
It is awesome, and you all sound very excited about the new session. So it's going to be great for our participants.
Thanks. We hope so.
No, it will be. It will be a great success. That's all of the sessions that are offered by that team. Amazing. Okay, we have one more session that is also new. That is, give me 1 second, because this. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry, I left the logo to that one, to your session. That's wrong there. Okay, that logo should not be there. They didn't have a logo, and I just duplicated the slide when I was creating them. Sorry about that. Do we have anybody from this session? It's Workplace English, pre and in service. Is anybody here?
I only know Ekaterina, because she, and I know Kirsten. Oh, Kirsten, sorry, Kirsten. Yeah, she's from iTEFL. It should be a good session, because you've got, you know, Ekaterina, and I see that Kirsten is also here. Don't know anybody else, but what's it called? Yeah. Pre and in service, workplace English. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Did any of the coordinators here did the vetting for that session? I don't think I vetted that session, so I don't remember seeing.
I know I didn't.
I didn't. Yeah. So Martha or Vance or Harshita or any of the other coordinators vetted that one?
No, I didn't either.
No. Okay. Well, we'll learn more about them as the PD sessions go. So we'll hear more. It does definitely sound interesting. Workplace English, pre and in service teachers. So great. Well, it's great to see that people feel they have a room in EVO to share all these ideas and all these uses of English or technology for, you know, our work, to make our work better. So let's see what they are all about. So now Martha is going to finish with this information that we still don't have finalized. I'm going to.
Okay, sorry, I was muted.
It's okay. I'm just going to remove this, not to confuse anybody. but usually the dates are pretty similar.
Okay, so this is like an invitation for you to join us. Usually at TESOL, we have the Electronic Village presentation of the best of EVO. And later on, we'll give you more like the details of the exact moments where we present. So you can present online, like the best, the best moments of your session, key information, takeaways, etc. So we do want to extend that invitation to you. And I would like to just, I'm going to share my screen.
Oh yeah, so let me stop sharing mine.
All right, I think, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just, we already have about 30 members in our, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we have about 30 members. Yeah, there you go, 30 who have joined us in Schoology. And basically, well, we want to invite you to introduce yourself in the warming up. So when you, for those of you who haven't used Schoology, you will be able to see the different information of the sessions of this professional development workshop. We'll be working for 4 weeks, and today being the kickoff. So I'll just mention in week 1,
Martha, sorry, you might want to go in as one of the participants so that a non-admin, so that they see it, because it looks slightly different.
Up to here is what they should be seeing. I won't show what's, actually I don't have a student.
No, I'll tell you how you do it. You simply go into members. I've been playing around with that when I created the video. You go into members, and then I'll tell you who you can go into.
Okay.
Scroll down and go into the one that I go into, GEMS.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. And
I
then
click.
and then no, you don't go there. Sorry, go back.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You don't go into her name. You go to the right. On the right of her name, yeah, over there, you go into preview course.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
got it.
Yeah. It's a
Thank you,
cool
Nelly.
thing. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So this is what you will be seeing. Yeah, because we have other things that have been hidden for you until we get to that week. And you will find different tasks to complete during the session. And we have the folder of week 1. So we hope you participate doing each of these activities. We've numbered them so that you follow that order, and so that you participate in the forums also. And we can communicate through these discussion sessions and clarify any doubts that you have. So you will see there's a support forum for week 1 in case you need any support in what has been placed here for you. So yeah, that's basically the invitation. If you haven't joined, we sent out an email to the lead moderators of each session. So you should have received this email from them so that you could join the session. If not, please, you could let us know. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Okay, so I'm going to share again to finish with the last slide, which basically is let the fun begin for this moderator PT sessions. And so we'll meet every week at the same time, right, Nelly and Vance?
Yes, the same time.
Yeah, same time every week here for 4 weeks, and then the work we're going to be doing on Schoology. So please, if you haven't shared this information with your moderators, or just keep them posted so that they all join. Even if we are experienced moderators, that's actually even better to be part of the moderator PD, because we can help those who are just starting. So if you are an experienced moderator and you are not there because, any reason, please join and share your expertise. You know how badges work, how some communication tools work, or what platforms are better. So this would help a lot those new moderators who are just coming into their first experience in EVO. So Anybody else would like to say a few closing words, or we're good to go?
I think in my case, just a shout out to Juliana Diaz, one of our coordinators. She couldn't make it, but she was working the whole time to get this to help us with the kickoff and with week 1. So when she sees this video, she'll know we have this shout out for her.
Yeah, I also wanted to say that the events appear on the right in the updates. So you just click on it and you'll be able to get into this live session next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's communication is clear in Schoology. It let us show everything in a very transparent way. So that's something good for us this year.
I also wanted to say that I created a group actually on Schoology, which I'm thinking of, well, we can think together whether this is something that we need or not to the LMS. It's because the LMS has discussions, but it doesn't have, you can't send messages to the whole team. I don't know why, to the members. That feature is not available for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay. So you're saying we're keeping the group for that?
I don't know. We can't send reminders. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Schoology, but that option doesn't exist. You can't send all the members reminders, say that, you know, to do this or that, or to join the live session.
Okay, so we could use email for that, I guess.
Or we could look into it, because I've been in other EVO sessions that use Schoology, and I get the messages.
Yeah.
So
pronunciation differently.
Exactly.
Use that one, yes.
Yeah, right. I used to get it too, but I have no idea if that comes through a group or not.
Okay, we can find it. We can figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for staying through the end. And we are going to stop recording and close the meeting for today. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, stop the recording. All right, thank you, everyone.